The internet never forgets. One mistake, one bad decision, and suddenly, your entire life is in the hands of millions of strangers with opinions. And no one learned that lesson harder than Digitalprincxss. You might remember her. Marissa Clouter, better known online as Digitalprincxss, was a big deal on TikTok. She had over 2 million followers and a dedicated audience, and was making a comfortable living off her online presence. Her content? A mix of gaming, cosplay, and just random fun. People loved her. But in 2021, one night changed everything. This wasn't just some petty drama or internet beef. No, this was real-life bad. The kind of bad that involves cops, news headlines, and your entire reputation going up in flames. So let's talk about the night Digitalprincxss made the worst decision of her life. It was a regular night in Florida. Hot, humid, the kind of night where people either stayed in with the AC blasting or went out to have fun. And Digitalprincxss? She wanted to go out. Now, here's the thing. She wasn't just some 20-something TikToker living carefree, she was a mom. She had a 4-year-old son, and at the time, he was fast asleep in bed. And this is where the story starts going downhill. For reasons only she knew, Digitalprincxss decided that instead of staying home or finding a babysitter, she would just leave. Maybe she thought he'd stay asleep the whole time. Maybe she figured it wasn't a big deal. But whatever was going through her head at that moment, she walked out that door, got in her car, and left. She drove 11 miles away. Not to the gas station. Not for a quick errand. 11 miles. That's not a be right back kind of distance. That's a you're gone for a while kind of distance. Now, we don't know exactly what woke her son up that night. Maybe he had a bad dream. Maybe he just needed his mom. But whatever it was, when he opened his eyes, she was gone. Imagine that. You're 4 years old, it's dark, it's quiet, and your house is empty. No mom, no sounds of someone moving around, just silence. At first, maybe he called out for her. Maybe he waited, thinking she'd come. But she didn't. And after a while, he did the only thing he could think of. He left the house. Yeah. A 4-year-old, alone, wandering through the streets in the middle of the night, looking for his mom. And it gets worse. Because the front door was left wide open. Anyone could have walked in. Anything could have happened. But he wasn't thinking about that, he just wanted to find his mom. Almost an hour passes. An entire hour where this kid is outside, walking through the neighborhood, alone. And by now, he's crying. That's when a woman, just some random woman out for a late-night walk, sees him. And immediately, she knows something is wrong. What is a 4-year-old doing outside by himself this late at night? No parents, no older siblings, just him? She doesn't ignore it. She walks up to him and asks where his parents are, but of course, he doesn't know what to say, he's just a kid. So she does the right thing and takes him to a nearby neighbor's house. And within minutes, the police are called. The police get there fast, and they do what they can to comfort him. But the bigger issue? Where is his mother? So they start searching. They walk around the neighborhood, knocking on doors, until they finally come across a house with the front door wide open. Bingo! They call the homeowner, Digitalprincxss herself, and when she finally answers, they tell her exactly what's happening. Your son was found wandering outside alone. You need to come home. Now. Imagine that moment. You're out having fun, and then your phone rings. You answer it, and it's the cops telling you that your 4-year-old child is lost, and they're standing outside your house, waiting for you. Digitalprincxss races home. And when she pulls up, there are cops everywhere. Now, here's the part that made this situation look even worse. She gets out of the car, and she's dressed like she just came back from the club. A little black dress, and makeup done, looking like she had a whole night out. Not a great look when the cops are questioning you about why you abandoned your child. At first, she tries to play it off. Oh, I was just at 7-Eleven buying laundry detergent. Right. The cops ask for a receipt. She doesn't have one. Then she pulls out a bottle of detergent and tries to prove that she bought it, but it's already half empty. So yeah, the police know she's lying. And if that wasn't bad enough, her mom shows up. Her son's grandmother arrives, and she is shocked. Because not only was her grandson left alone, but she also lives nearby. Digital Princess could have called her to babysit. She didn't. And then comes the biggest bombshell of all. Apparently, Digital Princess had a full-time nanny. Yeah. A nanny. Meaning there was literally someone hired to take care of her son, and for whatever reason, she didn't call them either. At this point, there's nothing left to say. The cops arrest her on the spot. The charge? Child neglect. And her son? He's placed in his grandmother's care, for now. Now, here's where things get wild. Because if you thought this was just going to be a private family matter, you'd be dead wrong. Somehow, news of her arrest blows up online. Within hours, her mugshot is everywhere. People are furious. Her fans turn on her. The memes started rolling in. #where's your kid trends on TikTok. And then, Digital Princess has to respond. She posts a video, saying that people are taking things out of context. But the internet isn't buying it. Then, the case gets dropped. No one knows if it was a lack of evidence, a plea deal, or something else. But she never faces trial. And instead of explaining herself, she tries to profit off the drama. She posts that she'll reveal her side of the story that went about as well as you'd expect. People dragged her hard. And eventually, she never releases the video. Fast forward to today, and Digital Princess is still on TikTok. At the top of her page, a text apology. She says she's learned from her mistakes. That she's grown. That she's in therapy. Some people forgave her. Others? Not so much. Either way, she survived it. But one thing's for sure, the internet never forgets.